Welcome to Game Set Matchup, the podcast where we talk everything partnerships, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Hello everyone, I'm Carl Busby, your host of Game Set Matchup, the #1 partnerships podcast, and we are back today with our first episode of season 6. So today I caught up with Briony Hood, who is the head of partnerships at a company called Boshhh. So Boshhh is the world's first mobile network that's basically designed to increase your credit score. If you can't get credit, you can't build credit. So with Boshhh, obviously you can do this. They are working in partnership with the UK's leading credit reference agency, Equifax, as well. So Briony's story of how she got into partnerships in a previous company is an interesting one. So after leaving uni and starting at Suits Me in a marketing role, over the 4 years she was there, she then progressed into a partnerships role, eventually becoming head of partnerships. So now being at Boshhh in a similar role, only having been there a few weeks, she's busy building new relationships and partnerships with the relevant companies to help grow the brand. We talk about what makes a gold star partnership for Boshhh, the tools they are using to find and acquire new partners, and also what advice she would give to herself if she was just starting out. And then finally, we talk a bit about what she sees for the future of partnerships and how businesses will evolve. As always, remember, you can find out more about Finder and how we are helping businesses secure discovery calls with vetted decision makers by hitting the links in the description. Enjoy this week's episode. Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to Game Set Matchup. So this is the podcast where we discuss all things partnerships. Maybe you're new to the partnerships world, looking for a little bit of advice, how to get started. You might be an experienced pro, obviously just looking a bit of inspirational direction. As always, I'm your host, Carl Busby, and we are back after a little break. So this is our first episode of season 6. And without further ado, let me introduce our guest today. So please welcome our guest today. We've got Briony Hood, Partnerships Manager at Boshhh. Hello and welcome, Briony.
Hi, thanks for having me. Excited.
Amazing. Yeah, no, thank you for being here today. Look, let's just start with, like I said, how we get to start these things. Just a bit of overview and a bit of introduction, really. So you can just tell our listeners, just a little bit about yourself, a bit of the background, and obviously we'll probably get into it later, but I know this is your new role at Boshhh. But yeah, you can just talk a little bit about what you're kind of doing there.
Yeah, so born and bred Manchester, went to university and did sociology and criminology, so a bit of a different one to what I fall into now. Once I was there, kind of fell in love with marketing. I think it's been in like second year, and just kind of how every product needs marketing to kind of be the best product you kind of be and reach its potential. So my final month at university fell into a role at Suits Me, doing marketing. Whilst I was there was a massive gap within that department for partnerships. I just think nowadays within marketing, people kind of don't underestimate how well partnerships can be, whether that's affiliate partnerships, direct partnerships, dual partnerships, things like that. So kind of fell into that role while I was there and ended up going up to head of partnerships. Suits Me was quite a small company when I joined, with about 50,000 account holders, and when I left last month, we had over 350,000 account holders, so pretty good jump. And yeah, it was nice to be part of kind of a scaling business. It kind of really gave me loads of support and guidance to kind of become where I am today and be here in Boshhh and be in the partnerships world. So I started at Boshhh very, very recently. Loved their social mission, kind of what they wanted to achieve, and they're going through a significant period of expansion and growth. So it's always great to be part of that. Boshhh is a mobile phone SIM provider, the only one of its kind that helps people build credit. So they want to be able to, everyone should have access to a financial freedom. So they want to be able to help people on that, guide them, help them and educate them on the credit score, and also help them build the credit score. So I've been brought in here to Boshhh to kind of expand it even bigger than it already is, and get as many partners on board.
Oh, no, that's amazing. Just interesting, as you touched on, you said obviously you when you fell into the role, obviously you said it was like a marketing a sort of background, then you sort of fell into this sort of partnerships role at Suits Me. Was partnerships a thing though, or did you kind of have to? Was it something new, that was being created at the time? Because partnerships is still quite I think a lot of businesses, is still quite a new thing, for some companies. Just interesting to see, what happened.
So we had partners in the likes of your comparison sites, and so Suit Me was within the banking financial sector, and they were an account that could offer an account to people who couldn't really open a high street bank within the UK. So on the comparison sites, we were already on there once I joined. However, that was the kind of only partnership route we had, and they were on affiliate platforms, and the comparison site how they got that traction. But no, it's relatively new to those guys as well. So it was kind of nice to go in there, fresh face, and kind of be the first one to kind of control that as well. It was quite a nice progression to see the difference it made as well.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. Just last, you said you studied at university. What did you say? Social and criminology.
Sociology and criminology, a bit of a different one. So you always get told to go to university and do something that you're going to enjoy. Yeah. And crime was I always used to, if I was watching TV, was due to put on like 999, what's your emergency, or 24 hours in police custody. I thought they are the best. The Moorish aren't very, very Moorish. So I just thought I'm really interested in that. So originally the plan was to be a police officer or something like that, I think. But then, big change to what I'm doing today. But I'm glad I have. I don't think I'd be cut out for the police life, definitely.
Yeah, no, it's not something I could do personally. I think big respect to guys doing that stuff. Yeah, it's not for me. Yeah, that's brilliant. All right, yeah. So obviously, just leading on to this conversation around obviously partnerships and stuff. So as I said, I know it's obviously quite new role with Boshhh, and obviously been very, very obviously busy over the last sort of couple of weeks since you've been there. But what would you say? Is kind of will look like a gold star partnership, for Boshhh, moving forward. Obviously, I think you've obviously been doing a lot of work since you've been there to, get the word out there in terms of, looking to potentially partner up with new businesses or companies. So yeah, like I said, what would you say would look like a gold star partnership for Boshhh? Yeah,
so since joining Boshhh, I think my approach to partnerships has massively changed. I think through changing companies, it does change. You have a shift in what their social aim is and things like that. So because of our phone contracts, the decline rate there is currently 71%. Car finance is 60%, and mortgages decline rate is 47%.
Wow.
The target market at Boshhh is increasing. So, and we provide the great solution, obviously with the current climate and the economic climate at the moment. It's obviously getting worse and worse. People are unfortunately seeing themselves fall into debt or getting the loans declined they wouldn't have previously. So kind of that's not helped in a sense, but really put down what our market is. So we can strategically now partner with thousands of companies who work within these sectors, so mortgage, declined loans, car finance, things like that. And we've got a product there that it's valuable in the fact that when people decline, we can be their solution. So say someone's mortgage got declined, we can go in that flow and say, well, if you join Boshhh and you have a phone contract with us for a year, we've seen people's scores increase by 150 points. So within that year, so it's amazing. And 40% of our user base already have seen 150 points or more on their credit score. So my shift to who we partner with has changed because we need to partner with these key companies to help people gain their credit score and be able to not get in that declined circle anymore and help them come out.
Yeah. No, I really like that. I mean, as obviously we talked a little bit before, obviously my background, obviously mobile and stuff, but just, I know a little bit about how the credit sort of stuff works. And I think, there's obviously a lot of, it's changed massively recently in terms of being just aware of, what your credit is. And like I said, how you can either, look to improve that and stuff. I think, 10, 15 years ago, it wasn't a lot around. People really didn't understand, sort of how their, credit worked. I mean, I know, years ago, I didn't really understand sort of fully sort of how it works, sort of thing. And people sometimes getting shocked when they apply for something and they're declined. They're like, why am I getting declined, sort of thing. So I think that said, this product sounds really, really, really good. Because like I said, it's giving, people an opportunity to, not to, actively be involved in understanding, how to actually, get their, improve credit, because no one likes being declined. Well, mortgage is probably right up there. That's probably the worst things you want to be declined for.
I think when you get educated in school and go to university, you get taught so many different things. You get taught algebra, you'll probably never use again. You get taught geography about rock erosions, about Henry VIII, but they never teach you about money and managing your own finances and managing your credit score. So if we can help and be able to help these people, it's amazing for those guys, and it can build and build and build their credit score, because, as I said, you're not educated on it as much as what you should be, are you?
Yeah. No, true. So that's come up in a couple of conversations previous other podcasts around the fact, like you said, that education piece around just financial health, and knowing that sort of stuff. You don't really get taught that. Cool. Yeah. Just obviously you touched there. Obviously, it makes sense in terms of the type of companies that would make sense to obviously you're trying to partner with and stuff. But like obviously again, this new role is quite new, but maybe in the previous role, like, is there particular types of traits or thing that you would look for in a business before deciding that you might want to work or partner with them? Because obviously, like I said, that potentially can have, an effect on the relationship, and obviously potentially again how that partnership will sort of look to evolve. So yeah, is it anything anything sort of specific?
I think obviously, apart from the main ones, like they fit into demographics and things like that. Apart from the main ones, I think one big one for me is strong communication.
Yeah.
So to get kept in the loop, to be easy to talk to. I think if you have strong communication, it can solve a lot of problems before they even begin. I just think it's something that once it's established, it'll just ensure the partnership is honest and maximised to its highest the whole way through. If you have poor partnership, it can fall off. Obviously, here at a lot of the partnerships I'm having at the moment are very new, so I'm trying to be very communicative with all the partners, and just to support them and hope they're as excited as I am to join kind of a new partnership route. So just kind of having that communication, I think, helps keep things maximised and get the best voice, but also keep things more personable to people as well. If you can build a rapport with someone, you're probably going to get a better partner out of them in relationship as well.
Yeah. No, I like that. I mean, I've said that. I mean, we discussed that quite a few times on the podcast. Obviously with networking events, that kind of stuff. When you do maybe being able to build a bit of a relationship rapport with someone can go a long way. And obviously communications, obviously 100% key. I've had people before discussing that, a partnership can start, everything's all great in the beginning. And then, a few months down the line, the communication or that person might leave the business, etc., and it starts to drop off. And that's when things sometimes can start going wayward, shall we say. And then, like I said, it's then having to deal with obviously the aftermath of that. So yeah, no, I think that's a really good point. Said communication is just making sure those lines are always open. So just moving on, obviously, at Finder, we're here about to help businesses get that sort of first call with each other, and talk about potential synergies between the businesses and maybe something that could lead to sort of partnership. So it's just interesting to ask, sort of businesses, how do you go about, trying to create these new partnerships? Obviously new role, you've just come in now, obviously at Boshhh. What sort of things are you sort of doing to, obviously get the word out and talk to potential partners?
Yeah, so to get new partners for Boshhh, one of the main things I'm doing now is reaching out to contacts that I've got well-established relationships with. I'm quite lucky that within the industry I'm in, I've made quite a lot of key relationships and great contacts in the credit score and the finance industry. I have a high level of trust with all those partners who I've got relationships with before, so it makes the transition for them to become a Boshhh partner even easier than it already is. So kind of managing those relationships, and then I'm looking at new relationships and using a variety of different tools, so affiliate platforms, looking at reputable potential partners, and also looking at comparison sites as well. So there's a lot of mobile phone comparison sites and things over there. Boshhh is kind of like, as I said before, a one-of-a-kind product. We have guaranteed acceptance SIM-only plans, and they help build a score. And that affects, as I said before, affects over 70% of the population. So there's a big amount of partners for me to go out there. So trying to using different tools, affiliate platforms, so Everflow, Awin, Impact, having a look on LinkedIn, looking at all the reputable partners on there, and then comparison sites, just kind of using the internet, using current relationships. I've got a couple of networking events lined up, so trying to get new relationships formed there within a telecom sector. And just kind of putting our name out there by messaging different affiliate networks and things like that.
No, that sounds good. I think conversations before, it's usually just a combination there of like you said, people or contacts that you've obviously previously before, people that you kind of trust, or people that are in that sector. Obviously networking events, obviously it's a big thing for us at Find as well, because we do those quite regularly for members and for other things. It's a great way of bringing people together and getting that introduction, and just talking to people face to face and building that rapport makes a big difference a lot of the times in person, and obviously just talking on like Zoom or whatever it is. So like I said, they can make a big difference.
I think a lot of people get scared, don't they, the thought of networking events. And when I first came out of university at 21, if anyone said to me, Briony, going to a networking event, it's absolutely petrifying, isn't it? But I think, as you just said, the relationships you gain from those events are literally next to a lot of the time the best ones you're going to get, and you build strong connections and stuff. So a real push for networking.
That's good. The point you touched on there, I mean, I think it's probably the same for a lot of people who are listening as well. Like, networking events, I think there's people that maybe find them a little bit, awkward or that kind of stuff, especially, the beginning. I mean, obviously we do loads of events at Finder. Obviously when I first started, it's the same thing, it's a bit nerve-wracking because you're just like, you don't know where to start. Sort of thing. But, when you're at events, everyone's there for the same reason, right? You're all there to talk. So, there's nothing to be scared about, really. Everyone's expecting you really to come and have a conversation with them because that's what you're there for.
Exactly. No, I think, as you said, that people do think they're nervous, but everyone, as you said, is there for the same reason, to build connections, build relationships, and to kind of be able to maximise the business they work for and get the most out of those events. So I wouldn't say they're scary. I think everyone thinks walking in there, everyone's going to be staring at you, but 9.9 times out of 10, they're the friendliest events you'll ever go to, and everyone, as you said, are on the same wavelengths there for the same reason, and you have a lot of things in common because you're kind of doing a similar job role each day to talk about.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, so same as I've experienced the same. Never, everyone I've met's always been really friendly and stuff like that. So it's really good. Then just that question. We like to ask guests. Again, just around, obviously a bit of a advice perspective. Obviously, we all know that in hindsight, everything's always better. But just in your experience, like so far, any sort of advice or maybe like tips that maybe if somebody is new, like you just said before, maybe just come out of university, and they've fallen into a partnerships role, or they're doing something similar. Any sort of advice or tips you'd give to them? Leaning back to, like I said, maybe when you first started, that suits me, like some of the things maybe that didn't go so well, that maybe sort of now you would be able to sort of tell yourself, your younger self, just I'd do that a bit differently. So any advice on that?
I'd say it's really cliche when I say this, but be yourself. You're in a role where you're making relationships, you're building connections, and if you're not yourself, you're going to end up being like a robot, and you're not going to get relationships. You're not going to get the best out of partners. That one sounds really cliche, but would always say that one. To stay flexible and be ready to adapt to change. You're not going to come in and everything's going to be the same each day. So if you've got it in your head to be flexible and to be adaptable, change is scary, but being flexible just turns the challenges into new opportunities, really. So be flexible, try and single gossip jokes. I say don't ignore red flags. So if you've got a gut feeling, or if there's a small thing that's feeling off, address it early. Don't ignoring it. It's only going to cause more problems in the future. So If you've got a red flag, trust your gut feeling, and really, really, normally 9 times out of 10, your gut feelings right.
Yeah. No, I like that. I think it's a little bit cliche, but I think, it's true. And it's one of those things, I think when you're younger, you might get thrown into a new role like that. It's like little things like that, because you're so invested in like, oh, I need to, I've got to create this partnership, I've got to do all these different things. It is simple just to forget the basics, right? So, like I said, you said just be yourself, just being genuine, don't try to be something different. And like I said, I like that, that just that gut feeling, something doesn't feel quite right. They said just call it out, talk something, rather than causing problems later on further down the line.
Exactly.
Yeah. So just moving to the next question. So we'd like to just ask business, and again, I think obviously what they're doing at Boshhh, is really, really, really good. Like I said, help out, a lot of people. Again, maybe just in a general sense, what do you sort of think the future holds, when it comes to partnerships? Obviously, we've talked about a lot of things, obviously currently doing, type of tools and bits and pieces that you can use. But you think there's, anything, and again, I know obviously you've just started with Boshhh, but maybe just in a general sense, like anything that you think like, changes or things you might do differently, in the future when it comes to, helping to create, partnerships or just in general?
Yeah, I think the future of partnerships now is so exciting from what it was 5 years ago. So if you think about it, we've now got AI and tech really, really shaking things up, which they weren't doing previously. Yeah. We've just partnered with a company who is actually powered by AI. So they kind of filter a load of leads, and they can kind of define by demographic that way, rather than going individually and having to do it in a dev way.
Gotcha.
And that's really exciting, and it will lead to great conversions for us. So it's just kind of being able to leverage AI and keep an open mindset of all these opportunities and all these exciting things that the future will bring with all the new tech and AI that's coming in, which is really, really exciting.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah. I think, we asked this question. I think, obviously AI is always one of the ones that's out there. Obviously for some people, obviously it's exciting, obviously, which is great. I think others maybe it's a little bit scary in terms of, is it going to take over the world and all of our jobs? But that's a different podcast altogether. I think obviously again it makes sense in just the type of sector that obviously Boshhh is in. Obviously being mobile phones, it makes sense to, like I said, partner with technology companies and obviously people that can help support that. The last question. So obviously we like to just do obviously sort of a little bit of fun, and this can be, like I said, maybe from a personal perspective, but just in general, when it comes to like partnerships, any person like with you, or as a business, maybe there's, like I said, a company that specifically you would like to work with or you would like to partner with, and any particular reason why that would make a good partnership.
I think if I could partner with anyone, it'd probably be Stephen Bartlett. He'd probably get a lot of people nowadays saying that. But I just think that journey that he's been on himself. So he started his first business when he was just 22 years old, didn't he? Drop out from university, and then I think it was 5 years down the line, the market value is over 300 million, which is very, very significant growth. Yeah. I come from a marketing background. I'd say partnerships is a marketing tool, and he's kind of like the marketing genius and kind of knows how to scale brands from nothing to 100 really, really fast, which is amazing. I'd also say Steve Bartlett's. I don't know if you listen to his podcast, but I listen to his podcast. I've got books. And he's very passionate about mental health, which I think nowadays in society is such a good thing. So I think it would work perfectly with Boshhh as well. He speaks about, Stephen speaks about how financial stress can obviously lead to a negative impact on your mental health. So we're trying to help people in that sense, where you can build your credit score and trying to get them out of that poor financial health circle. So I think our mission, our mission here at Boshhh kind of aligns very much in Stephen's advocacy for that mental health as well. So I think that aligns really, really well.
Yeah. No, I think that's amazing. I do. I've watched his podcast. They're quite long, so I have to do it in sections. But they are really, really good. And as I said, obviously can't make any promises, but we'll tag him when this goes out, and we'll try and put a little shout out for you. And you never know where these things can lead to.
Every cloud, hey.
Absolutely. Look, I can't believe obviously we've come to the end now, so it involves the first episode of season 6. So really, really appreciate you coming on and giving your experiences. And I said I really, really enjoyed it. And just good luck with everything at Boshhh. And so we'll keep in touch and see how things are going.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Thank you for having me. And had a lovely time. So thanks.
No worries. You're welcome.
Thanks for joining this week's Game Set Matchup. Tune in to hear more about the need to knows and the do's and don'ts when it comes to creating successful business partnerships.